this was the incinerator room. We did have it tested. There are human remains amongst all those ashes, and we make sure people don't bother it.
Well, if you have a fascination with things that go bump in the night, there is a place in Williamson, West Virginia that may be right up your alley.
I believe there are some strange things that go on in this building, more than just little sounds that a building makes.
The home of some of those things that go bump in the night.
So at the end of the day, I think that we actually figured out why the hospital is so haunted.
Oh, no wonder it's going on.
We know you're here.
Look, it's touching the exact area. And the red light.
Somebody in here just mimicked my voice.
It said cross.
Come here.
Come to where? Cross.
We're gonna walk around and see if we can find a cross.
Can you come closer to us? Oh, cross.
It just on camera drew a cross.
Wow, that was freaky, man.
It keeps drawing crosses. How many times have you heard the story of a haunted hospital? Haunted hospitals exist all across the world, and they exist for a reason. Hospitals are a place where people go to get better when they're sick and hurt. But they're also places where people, unfortunately, go to die. So every hospital is going to be haunted by a number of souls, thousands of souls that have passed through those very halls and they never left. But this hospital is different. There's a reason why this hospital's haunted that we discovered during our investigation. And it's a reason that I've never heard before. This place is strange and there's some definite unsettled energy there, energy that wants to make contact with people, and it needs something. It needs something from us. And I think we discovered what that thing was. Anyways, you're watching the Paranormal Files. Welcome to our investigation of the haunted hospital on College Hill.
I'm Jeff Brown, and I've been in the paranormal field for many years. So it was really interesting to visit the town of Williamson, West Virginia, and even more interesting that we had a tour by the mayor of Williamson, Charlie, who turned out to be fantastic on the history of the building and really a big cheerleader for his town, which is built up on a hill. And as I kind of approached it from the road, I told Colin to look at just the view of the town. It looked just really picturesque. And as we got up to the hospital and had our tour with Charlie, the view is beautiful from up there. It sits on a really high point in the town, and you can really get a good feel of the layout of the community. But just found the town to be really a great scenic place to visit.
Hey there, I'm Charlie Hatfield, one of the owners of the old hospital on College Hill here in Williamson, West Virginia. It's a cold night, so I'm sorry, it might rattle my teeth a little bit. But welcome to our town, welcome to our old hospital here. And if you allow me, I'd like to show you a little bit around and let you get a peek of what we have here. We'll start with the outside. The building here, we call it the old hospital on College Hill. It was formerly known as the Williamson Memorial Hospital. It served this community here in southern West Virginia and eastern Kentucky, a little bit of southwest Virginia, as a acute care hospital for many years, starting in 1928. And it remained a hospital up through 1987. Had about 76 beds for acute care, and I myself and my partner, Tanya Webb, we were both born here in this hospital. We're very pleased that we're keeping it going and sharing it with all you wonderful folks, and I'll let you and we have a cat that is very happy. He's got a little leg that's hurt. We just discovered him a little while ago. It's not a veterinarian hospital, but I'll promise your viewers I'll try to see if we can get him some care. He's going to take over the show. But as you pan this way away from the cat, before we go inside and take a little more in-depth tour inside, the hospital's behind me, and the building adjacent or next door is known as the Nurses College. The state of West Virginia saw it necessary back in the early 20s and 30s to build those buildings for the sole purpose of the vocation of nursing. I think we have maybe the only one, maybe there might be another one still standing, and I'll just share with you our plans are one day to renovate it and make it part of the tour. Sadly, It's not safe to go in. The roof is missing. It's decades of deferred maintenance because best of our research, it ceased being a nurses' college in the late 40s, right after World War II. And
We should do your
is he going to take over?
I think we're going to hear a cat the whole interview.
The cat's commentary.
Buddy.
Going to be running. I don't know. We could.
I wish you had a little can of food.
No,
we
I
could
mean,
give
we'll be done now.
you. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll
true.
wrap it up.
No,
here
we're
with the ran inside by a cat. But anyway, we have some wonderful plans that we hope to share with you at the Nurses College when it gets restored. It'll be a project of love and a lot of money. I tell everyone, Tanya and I are hoping we don't live under a bridge going bankrupt to do the renovation, but a lot of your contemporaries love it because there's been some wonderful captures of some activity from outside looking in. And so we can get inside and let the cat take over. The building there, just because it's here, we get asked about it a lot. And I'm very blessed and fortunate to be the mayor of our city of Williamson. This is the old water plant. It was built in 1906, so it predates both the hospital and the nurses' college. It's still a functioning water plant, I'll just share with you, and holds about 500,000 gallons of treated water. We're hoping to get that replaced and upgraded here in the coming, hopefully a year or two. We're a little behind on getting our funds, but we're looking forward to that. But it's still in operation. And, I introduced the building because it's such a wonderful credit to the workmanship and craftsmanship of that being built in 1906. And we're using it today. And it has a few little leaks. As a mayor, that's always a concern from the cost of treating water. But it's really done a wonderful job serving the community. And the way it was made when the town was first founded in the early 1900s, this was about the highest the elevation was that you needed for businesses and homes down in the valley below. The site here is beautifully perched overlooking the city. Maybe if we walk over here real quick, if the cat might let us have a moment of peace. I was teasing you before, you're seeing it's just 3 levels here above ground, or at least on the ground we're standing on. But when you get over here to the precipice of it, you'll see it's a 7-story building. They had laundry rooms in the bottom for the hospital. There's also a morgue for a short time. And I'll get out of the way, but you see a nice little view of our town I'm very proud of. This is just part of the town. Wow. The business district lays to the west, to our left. Homes and schools to the right. And on the other side is a community known as West End within the city limits. And on the opposite end, of course, is East End, where we have our large railroad yard. This is a coal mining town and a railroad town. And the rail was here to take the coal out after it was extracted. The railroad has a claim to fame of 46 miles of track laid within the city. That's a lot of mileage of track. They were in a 2-mile area. The tracks were side by side with coal cars full of coal. But this hospital had a big part to play in that.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Wow.
It was a good catch.
I've never seen that happen either. Screw it. Look at it. Screw it.
As we're going in the hospital, when it was built in 1928, very little has changed about the footprint of the building. Just a little small area lobby added on. I think it was in the 70s or 80s. And of course, to be compliant, they built fire escapes on the east and west wings. And they learned a hard way that they needed those fire escapes, not just because I'm sure it was a fire marshal ruling, but its predecessor was an old hospital in downtown that had caught fire in 1926 or 27. There was no loss of life, but from all the accounts and the newspaper accounts, people were literally jumping out of the windows to save themselves, taking the bed mattresses of the hospital beds and jumping out of the building. It was an old wooden structure. We had the good fortune back then, Doctors Salton and Dr. Conley were the 2 entrepreneurs that took the financial gamble to build this hospital. We have an article we copied that back in its day, if you're interested in the economics of it, they borrowed actually through bonds that a lot of the townspeople would buy. But the cost of this hospital was $175,000 in their dollar days. Translate that with today, that would be nearly $3 million. So the staff for the monuments here, stone monuments of Dr. Salton and Dr. Conley, and we were able to find photographs of them and put them above these markers, which we were very, very pleased. Dr. Conley, we were also lucky to have his home just a few feet away from the hospital that we're renovating, that he built here as a beautiful stone cottage that's just outstanding. We don't know as much about him. He was a skilled surgeon and loved the community. Dr. Salton, on the other hand, was well known and I think more of a, if I may use this word, was quite a character. They said he would didn't mind drinking a little bit too much, and the practice, or the words were, he did some of his best work when he was inebriated. But the story we love, and I guess the cat we just encountered would hopefully appreciate this. He certainly operated on people, but he didn't mind to bring in an animal and do the same thing. And there's a story that was well known in the area, not just among the hospital folks, but he had actually brought a horse in and took the horse up to the operating room at the time was on the 4th floor, and the horse was having intestinal problems, as horses do, and he tried to save it. Sadly, the horse did not survive, but the stories about the horse walking through here and people hearing it is part of some of the legends that people still talk about when they discuss it. But Salton, we like to just say that he was definitely an animal lover and gave a lot of interesting times in this place. You know, one of my things I like to show when we have some tours is a vault over here. You know, back when they built this, you didn't have the banks and the wonderful drive-thrus and ATMs. And probably more importantly was records. But they actually included an old vault here. Not as big as you see at the old banks that we still have their old vaults, but it was made as bank vaults were made in the day. Reinforced the steel. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to make that so loud. But I call it a bomb shelter. Reinforced. It's about 5 feet by 8 feet, and again has these metal doors. I just think it's fascinating. And again, I'm sure money was kept there, but probably more importantly is records of hospital patients that still maybe owed the surgeon a chicken or a goat for fixing that broken arm years and years ago. First floor, we're still cleaning it up. Before you came, we still had some equipment, hospital beds and the like that we had to get out of here that was brought down from the newer hospital that replaced this one in '87. And just to finish the timeline for this hospital before we go through each floor, as I said to you, it was built in 1928 by Dr. Salton and Dr. Conley. If you looked at the marker, they both died in 41 and 42 within a year of each other. Dr. Salton's son went into the same field. He was a surgeon like his father. And I think he stayed here until they sold the hospital in the 80s or late 70s. And as I said, in '87, the hospital became, I guess, antiquated for the medicine practice at that time. So they built a new hospital a few hundred yards away. And this hospital basically closed as a hospital, but it remained as a clinic, and various doctors' offices were here. Ambulance service was ran out of here. It was multi-purposed over the years, and then finally in the early 2000s, it just quit using it at all, just maybe for storage. So it really hasn't been open to the public that much in the last 10 years and sealed up. But with all that said, a lot of us, like I said earlier, we were born here, so there's a lot of memories. And, you know, as a mayor of a town and just someone that my own life experiences, you know, a hospital in everyone's town or city is, they're like churches and schools. Communities they gravitate or build around them. And you have people, you know, there's sadness here and there's wonderful joy here, the birth of new life and sadly the loss of life. But they're a critical function of our experience, I think, and what we do and say. This is the first floor. They used it for mostly doctor's offices and the like. At one time, the ER was up here. Originally, when they built the hospital, the ER was in the basement. And I'll just walk over this way for those that might find this interesting. With the help of my old Silverado truck and some back-breaking efforts, we brought this old, the morgue was downstairs, and I told you they used it over there, so I don't know if I can show you too much of it. It needs a lot of work, but there you go. Wow. This thing weighs, I don't know how many Over 2,000 pounds.
This is a cooler.
Yeah. According to the company Jewett, who made these refrigerators, that's what we call them. They were made up in Buffalo, New York. And the company still is going on until just a few years ago, and they sold out. I like it because I can relate to it. The owner at the time, in the 1890s, I think was the time period, it was the mayor of Buffalo. So they made these refrigerator units for body storage and blood storage and things like that. So they were well tied to the hospital industry. And this one's in pretty good shape. But we just pulled this out of that old building just a few weeks ago.
Wow.
These old hospital beds, you see, we had about 40 or 50 of them in here, and we had to get rid of them because they were just overwhelming, taking up space, and we moved them out. On the first floor, there's not a lot of things to really report. You can just see the way it used to be. Your linen was dropped into a chute. We passed it, but we'll pick it up on another floor. They still have it still works too.
It's my mom.
You answered.
But she just wants to know
Oh no.
where I'm at. How am I doing?
Past curfew. Get home, son. There's also a bellwether, we call it. You know, you'd have the door, and the food would come up from the cafeteria to the various rooms to feed the patients, and it's still operational too. But to move around a little bit, if you guys are ready, I'll take you to the elevator. Sadly, and you'll see some of it, before we bought this, Tanya and I did, vandals had their way in the old building, stealing copper, sadly, doing things. And the elevator wasn't operational, but with a lot of hard-earned money and some really good guys that know how to work on Otis elevators, this 94-year-old elevator is working. If you want, we'll get aboard. I call it get aboard. It's an adventure. So I hope we get up there. Sometimes the buttons stick a little bit. We had that problem a minute ago. Yep, did it again. Hang on. Well, need a little service on the buttons. So sorry.
That'll work.
But hang on. Let's try it. This has not happened before.
It's just working too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it has not happened before. You
No,
said?
no,
Oh, really?
Just like your camera. Has that happened before?
No,
Oh, that's weird.
You guys, I'm getting worried about being with you guys.
You might want to take
We'll
off,
check out.
Charlie.
Wow. I'm gonna do this one more time because this is
no,
part of its.
We're good.
Wow. If you guys hadn't ridden this before, I know you would be
Yeah.
questioning.
Right.
I really do
That-
want to get a video of it though.
That's
Come on,
it.
guys.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Whoever's here.
If there's someone here
If
holding
there's-
us
yes.
back, please let us go.
Yes. Be forgiving, please.
I am at a loss for words, and people know me. That's a shocking event too. The only thing I could do is go up, if you two could wait here, and let me just see if I can summon it up to the fourth floor.
Sure.
This isn't
You okay?
a trick or anything.
No. Well,
We're gonna
the last ones I did
confirm-
this to, they're not around to say anything about it. I'll be back.
Yeah. West Virginia's serial killer.
And I'm on video.
Damn. Well, what do you think? This is a
Creepy ass
it
elevator.
is.
Not gonna lie.
And especially when you look through the crack and you can see the drop down to the bottom.
Yeah, no
We
thanks.
don't want to do that. Which
It
maybe,
is weird that it's not working.
well, he
you
said
know?
it's never happened.
That's what I mean. He said it's never happened. We already wrote it earlier today.
Right? Yeah.
I know people that have been here and it works every time.
Yeah. And yeah, well. maybe
At least I
he's-
got my turtle.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God, that scared the shit out of me. I don't want to drop.
Oh, Jesus. I'm scared it's gonna plummet, man.
I'm coming back down.
Okay.
I did one thing. Let me just try one more time.
Yeah.
No promises other than an attempt
Yeah. Well, that's good.
because I'm embarrassed. ready to climb?
I'm ready.
Come on.
She's not gonna do it.
That is bizarre.
My apologies.
Oh, no. Wow.
Never happened before.
Okay.
Something doesn't want us going around the hospital.
It's gonna make us work.
Yeah.
Well, the elevator.
So he had, I mean, maybe.
Honestly, it's never failed to operate.
Wow.
I know we wouldn't do it there because we're here, but I was just making sure the buttons. Usually something's wrong with it.
Okay.
Weird, man.
You want to hike up to the 4th and work down, or just work each floor as we go up?
Sure.
Yeah.
We want this to be a health-friendly event.
This is the 2nd floor. As you can see now that it's carpeted. When it ceased being a hospital, they used it for doctor's offices and the like. But as a hospital for several, what I understand from our research, in the early decades after it was built, it was mostly patient rooms. I want to say maternity was partly here, and we also learned it was also on the 3rd floor. But most of these were patient rooms. And for those that's interested in the paranormal, this floor is probably the most active from the contemporaries. They captured a lot of images, voices, and the like here on the 2nd floor. So I can only say it's a hot spot for activity. My own personal experiences, you do hear voices, you do see doors kind of open and close, but that's been the extent of all I'm going to share with you. I'll invite you to come here and find your own experiences. You know, I think about all the patients that came through here. You know, as I said earlier, this is a coal mining and railroad community. Coal and rail, and especially coal by the nature of the occupation, a lot of injuries. Certainly safer in the last decades than it was in the early decades. You had children working in the mines, a lot of roof falls and explosions. A lot of them came through these doors in this place. Many walked, or not walked, if they were, lost limbs. And the ones that weren't hurt by the process of extracting coal and all the dangers that go with it, they overcome with methane gas, or some never made it to a hospital. Some were entombed in those coal mines that we talk about. But this hospital played a big role in it. And for myself and my partner in front of the town, we don't want to see the wrecking ball hit this, because I can't think of a better tribute to the industry and a way of life that was here in Southern Appalachia than what a hospital represents. But we can kind of walk through it, and you can still see, although they modified it a little bit for doctors' offices and stuff, you can still see it was patient rooms. Bathrooms weren't located in each room like they are today. You had one large bathroom that took care of a whole floor. Other than these fire exits, it's on each end.
Is he okay?
Oh my God!
Wow.
I just choked on something. Those are watching. We haven't made it to the basement yet, I'll just spoil it for you. The basement is usually where your flashlights go bad, or your electronic equipment just phases out despite a full charge. I'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I hope we all make it through this.
I see like a little oddities happening here.
This is unusual. I've done this a lot. You guys are special. I mean, I'm special tonight. But anyway, and I'm sure you are special. I have to say, as a mayor too, I was worried about the public's reaction to what we were doing here, opening it up and stuff. But I represent a wonderful town, and for the town, it's brought back a lot of memories. People are talking about it. Where they buy a T-shirt or a coffee cup mug that has our hospital on the side of it or something. I can pretty well say most in the community are happy to see what we're doing.
So on this floor, are there any areas that people think are more active or feel different?
When we get to the basement, I can show you those spots. But here on the 2nd floor, it's pretty much the whole place. We've had your contemporaries come here and engage with children that were here. Some of their stories are just wonderful. I think the one that touched me the most about children was a young girl that was a burn victim. And and let me just say this: a lot of people ask us, "Was your hospital for the insane? The mentally insane, or did it just do this or that?" You got to go back in time. This hospital did it all, whether it was polio or pneumonia. Of course, the things with coal I've already talked about, but it wasn't, and we've seen records, and we'll try to document it better, but they brought those that had mental challenges here too of their day. So it saw it all. And because of that, I think it's probably got a great background of experiences to still tap you. The ones about the children are probably the hardest to hear. The one with the young girl that was a burn victim was really tough. This was from someone that came here and did an investigation. They shared it with us. They'd captured a little bit of audio. The thing about the investigations on this floor, it's across the board. This one might have been in the basement, but another one that was touching. And again, these aren't air stories. These are from the folks that's come here and investigated this hospital over the last nearly 2 years. We've been doing this. One was I guess because it was Veterans Day this past week, it kind of stuck on my mind. An elderly man was brought into the ER. He knew he was dying. I can't remember what his situation was. It was just failing age and health or an injury. And this is a sad thing to reveal because we have such wonderful people around here, but as he was being brought in, the claim is that he came back and told one of the investigators was that the orderly who was with him took his gold watch. And the story is he was asking the investigators to help him find his gold watch. It was sentimental, obviously, to him. And it's a sad thing to share with you that a little thing as common and sad as theft like that would be impressive. But he was in the military. But on this floor, it's everything. My own experience was, I guess I will tell, it wasn't in the building. I was outside the building, just below this window. It's strange, yeah, we're on the right corner. The building has been a victim of vandalism for a long time, as I mentioned earlier. Copper thieves, people just breaking in for the sake of saying they broke in. Sadly, they do damage. You'll see some as we go through the building. One day, someone had removed a piece of plywood from a window and broke one of the most beautiful windows that was still intact in the building. So I come up, I discover it, and they tore the plywood up so bad, I had to go get another piece of plywood. So it was in the middle of the next morning, I'll just say noon on a weekday. I've removed the rest of the plywood to put up the new plywood. And I have my pickup truck back there with my tools, and I'm cutting, measuring, doing my thing. And a voice as clear as you could hear, and as a man's voice, just said, "What are you doing right now?" or something like that. I can't remember the words because I was partly clear and partly I'm not sure. And I looked around, and I was, if you know me, I have a sarcastic humor. I started saying, "What do you think?" And then I stopped in mid-sentence. There was no one around me. And I was on the outside corner where I had complete visibility. And the voice sounded like it was as close as I am to you. And I remember I just finally looked up, and the window on the second floor, there's many blinds on most of them. It was closed. The blinds didn't necessarily move, but they had like a silhouette or something changed about their color. So that's my experience. I guess that's the closest I can get to saying that I visually saw something.
And is it this window here?
Yeah, actually is. Yeah.
This the very window.
Now we have the blinds are pulled up now because
Yeah.
we have cameras on the outside, so we opened that up.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that I learned significant about this room as far as that. As I said, you could go to some others that's investigated. They have some wonderful recordings of voices, and a lot of them are here on the second floor.
Oh, it's good to know that.
So hospital investigations have always been some of my favorites because hospitals when they're abandoned are obviously just creepy as hell. If you've ever been to a abandoned hospital or a haunted hospital, you know what I'm trying to say. If you've ever been to a haunted hospital, you know what I'm talking about. Those hallways seem to stretch even longer in the dark, and every single room feels almost as if it could hold its own secret. It could hold its own patient. And when you think about hospitals, so many people, so many different people came through those halls. You had thieves, you had government officials, you had murderers, you had innocent children, you had pregnant women, businessmen, doctors themselves, all different people from all different walks of life, all passed through those hospital doors, and unfortunately, many times, those people didn't leave. So a hospital becomes almost a boiling pot of hauntings because you have so many different spirits and so many different energies, so many different emotions. The place is practically stained. It's like there's a group of 400 people that are standing in the hallways staring at you as you walk down them every single time you pass through the halls. Because, yeah. And it's cool because you don't know who you're going to get to talk to. You don't know who's going to be interacting with you that night until you're there on the ground filming, investigating, and gathering evidence. And that was our plan that night, to try to figure out who we were talking to and to try to get some answers as to why the hospital is so haunted. It's a relatively new location for people to investigate, so maybe we uncovered one of the many mysteries of that place.
That's our dummy room. We still have all the old CPR.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Now, some of them took some abuse from those that broke in, and I guess we're fortunate to have any of them left. Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's very
a little creepy.
Yeah, come in here by yourself.
Yeah.
Forget. Oh, I forgot those guys were in there. Kind of like, we'll go into this room, or this wing of the hospital. This again is the third floor. Maternity, of course, patient rooms. I guess our most famous, if I can use the word famous, story about the hospital originates here on the third floor. I kind of like it, the story, because being mayor of the town, it kind of resonates with what we do today. But this involves going back to 1962. And there was a domestic disturbance. Husband and wife were having a kind of an altercation. I guess to the point, they were in their car on a city street, and someone called the police, and two of our finest responded. And upon them arriving, Mose Blackburn was the individual that was with his wife having an altercation, we understand. And this is all in the newspaper stories. As the policemen responded or approached their vehicle, Mose Blackburn produced a handgun, firearm, and shot at the police officers. Sadly, he killed one of the police officers. Garnet Richmond was his name. He was brought here, and I'm not certain from my memory if he died at the scene or en route or when he got here to the hospital, but he succumbed from the injuries. And they got finally at some point arrested Mose Blackburn and had some injuries, and I guess in his arrest and bringing him into custody. But they brought him here for medical treatment, and he was in this room here to the left. And while he was here mending, kind of like you see in old movies, there was a guard posted at his door, so he wouldn't be a flight risk. And the story is, and this is what made it a national sensation, he asked the guard to come behind you, that's where the bathroom was, and get him a drink of water. As I said, you didn't have bathrooms and sinks in the old patient rooms. And the guard obliged, and while he was in the process of getting the water, a glass of water for Mose, Mose leapt from the bed and went out that window. This was the third floor. It probably should have killed him. But he survived the, if you want to call it the fall or the jump. Now, that's where a lot of stories float around, that he was maybe pushed out. There was a nurse that testified, or not testified, but said in a newspaper story, I think it was a Bluefield newspaper, that he was screaming that demons were after him. He was probably remorseful for, killing the police officer. But what is not in dispute, he definitely went through the window. And you got to remember, back then, you didn't have the windows like these. You didn't have air conditioning. It was probably a screen window, so they didn't, he didn't have a lot to have to jump through. It wasn't like glass went everywhere. And we also but went to our local courthouse and got his death certificates, because after he did that plunge, they brought him back up here and had to mend his new injuries. He lived about a month or less after that event. And the reason we share the story is, again, a lot of investigators and contemporaries and the people that worked here in the hospital, which I haven't really been talking about much, say they hear him trying to, when they would speak to him or hear his voice, he was trying to recant or give his version of what happened. From he really did kill the police officer to he was pushed out the window, these kind of things. Mose Blackburn has become kind of celebrity here at the hospital. So this is where that all happened, on this floor, or in this particular area, the room here and the window there.
And what is his cause of death on the certificate?
We'll look at it just to verify.
Okay.
But if I recall, it was due to, from the injuries of the last fall, mostly broken femur. Back then they couldn't take care of blood clots, emphysema due to pneumonia, right rib fractures, and fractures of the femur. Which, today that wouldn't necessarily be fatal.
Right.
But in '62, it was for him. And
So
he died at the age of 58. His death was August 24th, 1962.
So he jumped out of the window and then was taken back in here, and then was he in here the whole time up until his death?
He died here.
Did he go back in the same room?
Yeah, well, I don't know that for sure,
Okay.
but I would say. Well, probably a stop at the OR
Yeah,
to
true.
mend his broken
Yeah,
bones and
exactly.
so forth. But yeah. You go on through the third floor here, you'll see it looks a lot like the second floor. The floor plan is pretty much the same. Maternity, patient rooms. Interesting down here, for those in the practice of, this hospital did everything, of course, like all hospitals of their time. This one had,
That door right there, you just open it?
and these doors do that here.
Oh.
They're heavy doors. I will tell you, not to try to make it sensational or anything,
Yeah.
that the building's pretty well sealed up, so there's not a lot of drafts. And these doors are so heavy,
Okay.
but it's not unusual to walk by.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we're going up to the fourth floor if you like.
Okay.
The fourth floor, this was the pharmacy, and when you think about the business of hospital care, you're thinking, wow, pharmacy's on the top floor away from everyone, because today pharmacies are on the first floor where the public can get them and get prescriptions and the like. But in that day, the pharmacist was someone who actually made the medicines and concocted it, and it was for the benefit of the patients. They probably didn't sell to the public. So the pharmacy was up here, and back this way. And again, excuse the graffiti, it's not us. And you'll notice the floor is a little shorter. It's smaller square footage up here due to the tapering of the roof and the way they did the two fire escapes that they had to put into the hospital's floor plan for safety. Fire marshal ruling, I'm sure. But the OR on this side, there was two ORs. This was how small it was.
Wow.
And the word is, these windows this window wasn't used here. You could actually, they said, you look in and watch your loved ones being operated on. I know that's common in teaching hospitals, but they said they did it here too, so I don't know. There's this operating room, and if you just want to, I'll let you pan down there on your own. There was the second operating room, which when you think about it, 2 operating rooms in a rural hospital is pretty big deal. But it's down that way. Also features the glass window for those wanting to view in.
Oh, wow.
Now it's been changed when they did the floor plan of the fire escapes.
Sure.
They modified the roof profile and the floor. They had a nice shower and locker room. Kind of reminds you of an old grade school or something now. I'll let you walk in. You had a big shower on the left and lockers for the doctor's clothes and scrubs, I guess, if they call them that. We were, I think, very well blessed in this community to have this hospital. That's one reason my partner and I are so pleased to try to keep it going. It's part of our history, and it should be kept, and we'll try to do better at chronicling it and sharing everything we can about it. We'll stop on that other floor. I'll show something to you that will be of interest to those in the auditory hearing field. Yeah, it's down this way. You got better lighting than my flashlight, but this was a sound booth. If you want to have your hearing tested, you would get in there, and the doctor or the technician would do a series of noises through the components there, and it's soundproof. You can get in there and you can hear yourself reading. I'll close you up in there.
Okay. It is pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Holy
I'm
Did you hear us talk about you?
I'll try it real quick.
Oh, so yeah, please.
Let me give me. You're gonna make me disappear, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Saw you in half later. But today everything's done digitally with earphones.
Yeah.
You don't need these large pieces of equipment.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird how it just immediately was so silent.
Yeah.
Interesting to do a voice recorder in there.
Yeah, very true.
Well, if you're up to it, we'll go down the basement.
Okay.
All basements are creepy. I don't think this one's going to disappoint you if you're looking for that. But it's got a wonderful history. For some reason, I don't know, when I talk about the history of this place, it all goes back to the basement, if you can. And I'll explain why when we get down here.
Basements always kind of freak me out. I think it's maybe because it's kind of that dark, underground, cold, damp place that you go to. You always think things like are lurking in the dark shadows down there. Just always gives me just this creepy feeling like something's lurking in the shadows. And this basement really was no different. It's the most haunted place in the building. And it almost seems like the hauntings stem from the basement. And is really what kind of Charlie told us too.
I told you the hospital closed in '87. One of the clinics or doctor's offices that was put in here, strangely enough, was put here in the basement in the 90s, late 80s, 90s. Was a pediatrician's office. And I always make fun. They had the border wallpaper with all the Humpty Dumptys and bears and stuff, which I find frightening. But before then, when it was a hospital, when they built it, today you go into an ER, you got like curtains to separate, patients as they come in. If it give you any idea how busy this hospital was, look at how many different how many ER rooms they were. Probably 8 down this one hallway. This literally, you didn't get to see it because I think we lost daylight, but this was really the entry of the hospital. It faced town, and this was your first floor. This was the waiting area. Like most hospitals, if you visited, you probably did come to the ER. And that's where they would first expose you to the care of the facility, was through that door. As the town grew, the streets kind of went around flanking the hospital, and eventually where we were on the back, and the hospital changed its floor plan to suit the streets and the activity. But we show this tape too. The pediatrician's office would put photos of their patients there. Of course, a thing called HIPAA requires us to remove all that. You asked me about rooms with hot spots. I don't want to forget this room here. For some reason, those that are, and I don't want to be disrespectful, are mediums. It seems like every one of them that shares that have that gift. This room is the most interesting to them. I'll use the word interesting. I don't know what else to say. Again, you'll see a lot of maintenance issues. The downstairs had a lot of water problems. We've corrected all those issues and trying to clean them up. You'll see a lot of damage due to weather. And there was vandals in here too. But the basement holds a lot of stories. One of our volunteers, a no-nonsense lady, reported the image of a man coming through this wall here. And actually, she will not come down here by herself. Daylight or dark, but that was an experience that she relates, and still hard to talk
Through
about.
that wall right there.
This one here, my light's on. Yeah, the back wall, which is one of the radiology rooms. They had like the surgery rooms. You had radiology over here and radiology there, where they did the X-rays. There's a wonderful capture of a hand coming out of that wall by an investigating group. They're going to be mad at me. I can't think of their name, but it was well recorded on their image. Those that are in radiology, the history of it, would probably love coming here and seeing how they did it. Well, let's go in. Like this would be, and there's an old X-ray. It's authentic. The lung is probably indicative of the fact that black lung was probably, other than injuries and stuff, because of the practice of coal. My grandfather, I never met him. My mom's dad, he died in the early, his age, I think he was in his 50s, due to black lung, due to coal mining. It took out many more people than injuries in coal mining did, the black lung did. But anyway, this was the room for radiology. You had the leaded glass and the leaded wall there, encased lead, to protect the technician who would do the X-ray of the person who had the broken bone or whatever. And you had another one of those over here on this side. The room in between was so interesting because that's where the technical work was all done. The slides and so forth. It's a little messy. You're welcome to go in there, but that was the, they don't do it that way anymore. But they had cabinets that they would pass them through, and they'd go through their exposure, kind of like, photography, but of a different sort. And that's where they kept them. But the basement, I can't, my mind's running amok with all the stories. Children, one of the other stories, and it might have dealt with here because we're in the ER, dealt with, and we haven't really researched it yet, it's been kind of handed down. Story of the nurse that never checked out, or clocked out, excuse me, checked out's the wrong word, clocked out. She was a nurse, and her shift had ended, and she was on her way home, and somewhere along the way she realized, oh my goodness, I forgot to clock out. You're too young, but back in the day you had a card and you would literally clock out when your shift ended to adjust your pay for the period. So she came back to the hospital just to do that function. Probably thought, it only takes minutes to do it. But sadly, on her way back, she was in an automobile accident. And again, I'm not sure if she died at the scene or en route or here. But the stories about her comes from people who were employed here. She was a registered nurse here. And of course, I'm sure, as anyone would with a coworker losing their life, and she was very young and in her prime, part of the hospital family, because there's one thing about hospitals, and I'm sure it was no different back then than it is today. They formed their own family. There's a workforce family and then the relatives you have, but I think people that work in that part of healthcare, hospital care, I think they have a unique bond. Some of the stories from the older members, people who are still alive, tell us that they would see her apparition, if you will, in the hospital at the nurses' station. Nurses, while it was still a functioning hospital, years after she passed away, reported that they'd see her image. And one of the most, I think, interesting was one that a nurse that was sharing the story with us was at a workstation and was elbow to elbow with a fellow nurse and was conversing with her, and they had an exchange, she said, of words, but something didn't make sense in her voice, and finally the nurse looked after she finished whatever she was doing, and she was gone. And those are the kind of stories. Most places, I guess, or I'm assuming, most of the stories come after the building is shut down from use. I'm certain. I'm quite certain. A lot of the stories that came from this hospital were why it was still functioning. There were people, I wouldn't say they were afraid to be admitted, but there was another story, and I need to get the story right. There's a different version, but one lady reported she was here she was pregnant, and she was here to have her baby. And she reported that a nurse came in, told her, no, you're not ready yet. You can go home and come back in so many days and you'll be ready. Well, she thought, okay. And the nurse left, and she's going about gathering up her personal belongings. Like, well, okay, they're throwing me out. Not throwing her out, but not time. Another nurse follows in shortly after and says, what are you doing? And she said, well, your other nurse, your associate, just told me I had, it's time to leave. I'm not ready. And she said, no, you get back in there. You're going to be having that baby soon, But the story was that she actually stayed here that length of time before she had the baby too. So there's quite a bit of interesting stories there that run amok about the place. But again, the fact that people that are still here in the community, or maybe they retired and moved on, but they, as workers, have their own events to share. One of them dealt with this room back over here. As I told you, this was the ER. This over here, this little wing, a lot of the employees tell us they didn't know much about what happened back here because the door was seemingly always shut. But we were told by some of the older members, and I apologize, it took a lot of beating in here from vandalism, but this larger room on the right was where they would separate those that needed amputations due to injuries. They would remove them from the population of just regular ER visits and treatment to here, because of course it was more excruciating and more serious. But this is where they did. And again, this goes back to the employment and the industry we had here. Fingers, toes to legs and arms were amputated quite a bit. I remember as a younger man, a younger boy, you'd walk the streets of town, you'd see a lot of that. Some was from war veterans, but a lot of them were from coal mining accidents. Arms and hands getting caught in conveyor belts and things like that. It was just, the coal miners took it as par for the course, but it's unthinkable, the tragedy and the pain that they went through. But that's what this room was for. And this room over here was kind of like a tunnel here, but the vandals, and it's so sad to report this to you, that was the telephone switchboard over there, and just for very little copper, they stripped it. It even says hazmat. This probably was the area we would call hazmat today, because they had to dispose of everything. And I'm going to walk between you, because when we came through this door, and a lot of employees who said they worked here 30 years didn't know this was here. But the room, when the store's open, you don't see it, but this was the incinerator room. And we get a lot of interest from this. The large furnace is gone. And the burning areas, it wasn't for burning cadavers, it was for the body parts. Of course, and also from bed linen to medicine and the like. We did have it tested. There are human remains amongst all those ashes, and we make sure people don't bother it. But that's what this little furnace, again, the furnace was here. It was probably the size of a Volkswagen standing up. But you come in here and there's always different smells, from sweet to, I don't know if you were picking up any.
I'm smelling that. Yeah, right before you said that, that's what I was thinking. Like,
well, he was coughing
smells
earlier too.
different.
It changes. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, that's interesting that they actually incinerated the body parts instead of like burying them. I don't know what that nowadays.
We did have a local cemetery here. You know, this was ran for profit. You know, a lot of hospitals over the years, some of them are ran by the government, profit, non-profits. If it's usually by a denomination like a church, usually there was a cemetery, if you think about it, right near the hospital.
Yeah, right.
Didn't have that here. Now we have a city cemetery. And we've heard, you know, fetuses might have been even taken care of here. Who knows?
But there are still remains in there. Now, that's crazy.
It was hazmat. They probably took care of burning sheets in there that was sold beyond repair to
Bloody
medicines.
stuff.
That's the bottom of the elevator shaft.
Okay. Yeah. So there's always
Okay, one last time. Okay, guys. I don't know how to account for it, but it's not working.
Interesting.
Jeff, give it a push.
Want me to try it?
Go for it.
That'd be really creepy if it actually works.
It works for you.
Okay, here's the
I don't know if
magic
I'd get- I don't know
touch.
if I'd get on board, but it's wanting to. When you guys take a break, I'll go up.
3. Okay.
It's making more noise now. It's 2 bumps.
I was trying. Just one more minute.
Yeah.
We're in the basement. You have more square footage down here than you do in all the floors. They know we had the ER over there and waiting incinerator. This was the cafeteria, and later became part of the morgue. They used part of the floor was used for morgue. You'll see too that there was construction going on, and I understand in the 90s. I didn't know about it, but you can tell by the metal beams; they're not wooden. The owners at the time had plans to expand the cafeteria, but I don't know what happened, maybe financial, or they just lost their appetite or vision to do it. But this was going to be a large cafeteria area. And then it connected to, and that's why we refer to this doorway through here, they used it partly as a morgue when they needed to, if they weren't using the nurses' college next door, because that wall right there is part of the structure of the nurses' college. That concrete pad that we were on, where we had the overlook of the city, is right, we were standing above that.
So anything necessarily spooky that happens down in the basement?
Well, yeah. My own experience, I said I would only share one. I was in here with a helper. We were fixing one of these windows where someone had tried to break in, and it was just a loud scream and a noise, and that's all I got to report. But I remember my goosebumps had goosebumps. It was very eerie. He and I both were certain it was the floor above us, but we heard things back that way as we left. So I don't know. That was my experience. For many that come here and do their investigations, and those that just walk through it, the basement has a lot of activity. I'm trying to share some of the stories that they have, but
Again, it's the full range from burn victims to injuries in the mines. I mean, we're in a part of Appalachian. I'm a Hatfield, so I guess I can say it. You know, violence isn't a stranger to us here. They call Bloody Mingo is the nickname for the county. It's the youngest county in the state. Mine wars that we had here, the labor strife, remnants of those that still carried on hard feelings from the Civil War, which was before this hospital, of course. But a lot of troops went through here too on troop trains during the war efforts, and I understand they would make stops here when necessary. You just had the full range of everything in the way of human ailments to injuries to violence. Some of them were caused by.
Were there any like murder victims that passed away here?
Oh yeah.
Do you have any stories from those people?
You know, we're trying to put that together. I think we'll have some in the future from folks that can share that with you. It's not as sensational as a serial killer type thing, but I know we've had a lot of people, and I've had some distant relatives brought here where they were victims of gunshot wounds and stuff. Not from the feud, that was 100 years ago plus, but just sadly violence that occurs, in a community.
So, not to let that slip by too quickly, but are you actually a descendant of like devil arms?
It's one of theirs, yeah.
One of their descendants, okay.
Okay, just 2 questions. So,
all right.
What do you think are the most active areas in here that we should kind of focus on?
For your short visit here, 2nd floor and maybe the basement, I think you'll find to be most active. Although, every floor has activity. From the 2 years we've been here, there's no place, no floor has been never said nothing happened. But if we had to take a number or survey, it would be the 2nd floor and here in the basement.
And you would say at the end of the day that this place is haunted?
Well, if I understand the word haunted, yeah, I guess so.
So when it came time to investigate the hospital after getting our history lesson, which was very awesome from the mayor of the town, we got all of our stuff inside. It was freezing cold. Once again, every single location that we filmed at this trip was ice cold. But something peculiar happened. So I was upstairs setting up the tripods, and all of a sudden Jeff, who was downstairs grabbing something, came bursting into the room and said, "Dude, why are you so mad? Like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? I'm just sitting here setting up the tripod." His face grew absolutely pale. He told me it sounded like it sounded like you were screaming profanities in the room. And I'm like, obviously I was not sitting here screaming to myself. I'm not even in a bad mood. Like, I'm having a great night. What are you talking about? Which, yeah, that's scary, because mimicry and doppelgangers, to me, that's the scariest type of paranormal activity. So the whole rest of that night I was thinking, if I turn this corner and I see myself standing at the end of this hallway smiling at me, I think I'm gonna quit ghost hunting. But almost immediately after Jeff heard those noises, as you're about to see in this clip, the paranormal activity began. It had been quiet the whole time when I was up there alone, but as soon as he heard that screaming coming from seemingly me, stuff really started to take off, and we knew we weren't alone. Okay, so we're setting up right now to begin filming. Jeff had to run out to the car to grab something, so I set up the music box, REM pods, out in the hallway on the 2nd floor, but Jeff just had a very freaky experience.
Yeah, well, again, I was outside of the car to get some batteries, and as I came up the stairs, outside this door, do you want to go there? Or?
Sure.
Okay, so this is kind of the room where it's a little warmer to stay, so the door was closed. As I came up here, the music box. Where's that? Right here. Holy shit.
Are you down there?
There's definitely a feel up here for sure. I'm coming up the staircase like this. I'm about, that is crazy.
Oh, and the REM pod! REM pod right when I came over to it.
Are you glad we're here? if you're glad we're here to visit, can you light that red light up, the lights around it for us now?
If you see that red light, walk towards it, please.
Touch that antenna.
That was so
right when you
panned over.
Oh, try it again. You can watch over there. So I was down at the car and come up the stairs. Right when I kind of came up here, I heard this, you know, this is where we're going. Colin, you were in there. And I actually heard like, God damn, fuck. Like, you know, the F word. And I'm coming up and I'm like, fuck. And then, oh. And that's what happened. But I heard the REM, or the music box going off. The REM pod was, oh my God. Okay, I know people always think you get excited to see lights go on, but you know. Look at that. Holy shit. Okay, we know you're here. We're here just to visit. And we're glad to talk to you, so thank you for doing that. But can you back away from that light now to let us know you're here? Could you please back away from the light?
There's someone right here.
And down here.
Oh my gosh. I have one down there that hasn't gone off yet. I mean, look at this.
Wow. Okay, whoever's here, thank you for making the devices go off and playing with them. But could you back away and just make it go silent? And let us know you're here, please. Back away, please. Okay, this is
If you're right here, can you please back up?
and keep in mind, active floor. We've been told this is the most active floor.
Okay, well, thank you to whoever's talking.
Restart.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna reset this, guys. 1, 2, that's reset. And then it's already diverting our attention of the story we just came out here to tell real quickly, right? Okay, so again, maybe it's gonna redo this. I'm coming up the stairs, and as I get up here, I hear this. And then I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm just like, to myself thinking, Colin's mad about something. I'm like, dude, what's going on? And then you're like, what do you mean? You're over there working. And I said, well, why are you swearing? Like, what's happening? Why are you mad? And you're like, I'm not. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay. And then that's where we started. So that was really, really weird. I mean, I'm not in the business to tell fake tales. This is just not our deal. And that was like clear as day to me in the sense of the F word strung together like oh God, all like a bunch.
But it sounded like me.
I thought it was you because it was you. You know, I mean, I thought you were obviously saying it. So in my head, I thought it was you. But you know, it sounded like you, I think. But now I don't know.
That's weird that it also came from here, but I was way down there, and this door was shut, and you were like in the hallway.
Yeah, but it made me feel like you were yelling out loud. It sounded like that. Not like you were just right here, but it sounded like it was coming from inside the room. You know, like if you were down here. So if you're way down here, it sounded like you're doing this. Fucking goddamn sucking fuck shit. And then how you'd hear that on the outside of the door. It was muffled, but loud, right?
I gotta say, out of all, I've said this, people online will know, out of all paranormal phenomena, I think doppelgangers and like copycat stuff freaks me out the most. We've never had anything like this happen where you actually thought that I said something.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, that's creepy. Yeah. That's like freaking me out right now, especially being confirmed with the REM pod and the music box.
Right.
Should we open the door up and see if anything's going off?
Sure.
Oh, it is!
Oh my
It is
God.
actually.
Why don't you go talk to them?
Dude, you know what's crazy too? I was just up here for like 10 minutes while he was downstairs. and these things were just sitting there. Nothing was happening. You know, I set them up and they were just quiet. And then you heard this voice, and then all of a sudden, look at that, it's full strength.
Plus, I didn't. The REM pod was not going off when I stopped.
No.
I noticed the music box was going off though. That's why I came in and told you that.
Yeah.
After I found it, and I said, "Well, dude, the music box going off after you explained you never said anything."
Yeah.
And then the REM pod just was taken off.
Well, that's an extremely strong signal too.
And you reset it twice.
3 times.
Three
now.
times? Okay.
I mean, even when we started this clip, the REM pod wasn't going off.
Yeah.
If you flash back to it, it just started.
Right.
And we haven't even been close to it to like set anything
Yeah, this
off.
is where I was at right here in the stairwell. Wow. Okay.
Okay, to whoever's here, we're gonna grab some more toys and devices, tools, and bring them in here to see if you can talk to us. I would appreciate if you would please not set this thing off so hard. Maybe just touch it and step back. What the hell though, man?
Yeah, I know.
Let's do this.
Okay. Oh. Is it the other
Now
one?
the temperature.
Yeah, it is that one.
What the hell though? The temperature wasn't going off before.
Okay, I think.
Is there, just real quickly, are you still right there? You can still play with that thing if you want. If you do like that, we'll keep it going, but can you show me that you like it? Can you just reach up and grab that red light again?
You know when they really started? When I asked them to grab the antenna.
Can you grab the antenna?
Wow. That's just sound.
Now it's like eerily quiet.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess we'll actually start now. We're not even started yet. This just is happening as we're setting up.
But the voice, that was honestly
I wish we would have been recording that.
On my soul. Were you the voice? Were you the one trying to make me sound or think that I was Colin swearing? Was that you? If that were you, go ahead and touch the antenna. Oops. Yeah, anyway.
This door's wide open.
That was the first time I've ever. They were starting to go.
Look at that. When we walk away. Do you want us to come back over there?
Okay.
Okay, well, we're gonna grab our stuff and get going now.
We wanted to get a feel of the energy that was in the building, kind of getting really a feel before the investigation technically started. And there was a lot more than we thought. Things really started to happen really when we were setting up our equipment. Noises, and then our lights were going off on our instruments that we had set up already. So just, there was a lot of energy there. Which one is? No, it's that one. It's that one. Can you come down? Come down the hallway. I've got some other lights down there. You can walk on the carpet and it will set them off.
All right, everybody, so we're here in the old hospital on College Hill. I want to introduce myself. My name is Colin.
I'm Jeff.
We've come here tonight with peaceful intent and love in our hearts. So we just want to communicate with you and find out who exactly is in here. But I do think it's a little strange and concerning that somebody in here just mimicked my voice. So if that entity is here, if that person or whatever you are is here, I would like for you to come forward. Even if it's not right now.
Okay, anybody that's in the building, can you come up to this floor? All we want to do is communicate with you. And we've got these lights to come up and touch or make a noise like on a door.
We have a bunch of toys, little tools set out right there. This one that you've already been playing with, and all those down there. I'm sure you know what they are because a lot of people have been here and tried to interact with you, but you can show us that you're here by walking up towards our voices, and we'll be able to tell that you're coming up to us.
Dude, that's just so weird that you sound like you were swearing up a storm and it was you.
I know, it's freaky.
That's the first time ever that's happened to me with you.
I'm on edge because of that right now. We also have this little device right here, and if you see, you can see the letters. All you have to do is touch this thing, put your finger on it, and you can. Oh! Oh, is that one going off too?
Yes. Okay. Can you do that again, please?
Okay, now that's bizarre. Down there and down here at the same time.
Okay. You go ahead and say what you want.
Thank you for that. That is what we want, but I'm just going to finish explaining this. All you have to do is put your, yeah, just like that. Put your finger on this device. Right there. You see how it says V and W? You can try to spell out your name. I'm kind of freaked out. Can you make a loud noise like this? Like this?
Yeah, before though, coming up and hearing all that loud noise of you swearing, the music box was going off like crazy. And then after I walked in to get you, then the REM pod was just going off again. So, I mean, I don't know why all of a sudden it's kind of like gone a little bit more silent, but
I think it's watching us. We would love to hear your voice if you're in here. Can you just tell us where you are in the hospital? Or you can show us by walking up to one of our little tools. It's always really quiet right before something big happens.
seems like it. You know, if you're a patient in one of these rooms, you can come out and... Oh, do you see that?
Uh-huh.
The REM pod just went off. Thank you. Again, I was going to say, if you're a patient in one of these rooms, you can step out into the hallway and let us know you're here. Show us one of these lights. Have one of these lights come on that are there. They won't hurt you.
Just like what you just did with that one. It's creepy in here.
Oh, right when you said that. Right when you said it.
Do you agree that it's creepy in here?
No. I guess. Do you live here all the time? Is this where you like to stay?
Is there something in this hospital or in this building that we should be afraid of? That we should be looking out for?
It's interesting that green light came on, you know. It'd be from that way, right?
Yeah.
So when I first asked somebody to step out of the patient room, you came out and touched that light in front of Colin. Can you do that again for us? Colin's right by you.
I forgot about this creepy mannequin room.
Oh, that's... Well, it shows up the motion lights all working. gotta watch out for this music box. I keep forgetting it's there. Yeah, this is weird. Jeez. And this was not a Halloween deal. This is people coming in and vandalizing inside here. Unfortunately, all these CPR dummies, they kind of ripped apart and put all this blood on them.
That's weird. It's like, this is not your average vandalize. You know? Bullet holes.
These markings.
Like, this looks like evil. Whatever these people were doing to these dummies.
Okay. How come you guys have gone silent? Aren't you going to show us you're here? And give us a little bit more acknowledgement, like a knock on a wall. Like that.
The envoy. Oh, that's weird. It didn't go off that whole time we were standing there. Are you still down there at the end of this hall? If you're there, can you touch one more of those?
Okay, well, I mean, it wasn't though.
I didn't really move
Oh,
that
no,
much.
it wasn't on by us.
Can you walk towards one of those?
Oh, jeez, the other one, right when you pointed. Here's the first second.
Okay, that was definitely not us.
No.
Can you walk towards one of those red lights?
Or there's one more of those lights you can make go off as well.
That was weird. It was like
Weird,
that was straight up like someone walking down the hall.
Yeah.
You know?
Right when you pointed too.
Yeah.
You went from there. And look at this thing just, anyway. Well, thanks for letting us know that you're here. I'm going to take that as a yes.
Hear that knock.
If that's you down there, can you open a door or bang on a wall just a little bit even? Oh, Jesus. There's the infamous train.
Every time.
Train coming.
Do you guys like the train? You can touch one of those devices if you like the
Oh, jeez, right there again.
I guess those trains have been going by here for like 100 years.
You guys like the train, huh? Anybody else like the train? Anybody want a train ride?
I was like, no.
Guess no.
Is it okay if we start asking you guys some questions? Right when I talk, everything.
So loud. It echoes through this valley.
Through the valley. Is it all right if we ask you guys some questions? You can tap on any of those devices to let us know that we're okay to ask you some questions.
Oh, there. Oh, look at there again. Okay, let's go ahead and ask some questions.
Weird.
We're gonna come back down?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
VWNKLM.
VW.
Yep.
And that's my license plate number.
VWNKLM.
W. I couldn't connect anything to that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, me.
Okay, guys. Colin's just taking a little bit of a break. I'm going to actually do a little bit of SLS work while we're waiting for Colin and filming it. Okay, here we go. Okay, guys. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it's interesting. Okay, realize that you're here. Thank you for letting us come and visit you. This device I have in my hand will let yourself appear on camera. It's kind of a game. So if you're in one of these rooms If you would please come out of the room and show yourself, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, are you over here? Okay, you can go ahead and please, you can show yourself. Everything is safe here. This one, what the hell? Oh. Okay. Thank you. Are you standing in front of the music box? Can you show yourself, please? Thank you. You're someone's standing right in front of it. Okay, thank you for coming out of the rooms. Thank you for stepping forward. Can you touch that antenna down there? Or maybe make one of the other lights go off for me? Okay, it looks like you're going to stand right in front of that device. Can you touch the red light down there? Hey, Colin. What? This has just been going off after I started doing the SLS. It just goes on. It's on. It didn't move it, didn't touch it. I think we should reset that, Colin.
Okay, so you came up here. I was using the restroom.
Yeah, you're using the restroom, and I was just coming up to do some SLS work, right? And I introduced it on the camera here, and that it was not going off when I was introducing it on the camera, and then that started the music box. When I asked people to come out of the room, and it's just been going continually now.
I'm gonna reset it.
Oh, I got it, oh shit! What? Oh, damn it. What? I had weird. I had a figure sitting right in that chair. Can you show up again for me? You just showed up in the chair like you're waiting in the waiting room. Oh, damn.
What was that?
That was like the elevator noise, like, or metal.
Whoa. That was in here.
That was all there.
What was that? What was that? Hello?
Okay, you showed up in that chair for me. Can you please?
Okay, it's spelled out it's spelled out orb, O-R-B.
Really, orb?
Yeah. O-R-B-V-T-Q-Z-O-H-I-T.
Oh, weird.
Hit. It just spelled hit.
You know what? I just had like a black orb go through, but I'm sure that's...
That was a weird noise, though.
That was.
Now.
Yeah, that was definitely... I think it's the elevator sound.
Should we try the elevator again? Okay, if you're in here, can you please let us use this elevator?
So to reiterate again, earlier, Charlie bummed out the elevator doesn't work. It's never happened before.
Yeah, and we rode in it earlier today. We rode in it.
We did. And then
it just stopped working.
Done.
We rode up and down in it.
And he's like, never happened before. He's on camera. And
one more time. Oh, I feel cold right here. Are you upstairs? Can you make that noise again to let us know where you are in here? It got really creepy in here all of a sudden. Like, we're not afraid to tell you guys online if we feel like the energy is not, half the time it's good energy, half the time it's negative. And at first I felt like it was kind of positive, but it almost just got darker feeling to me. Like there's something like stalking us in here, if you know what I mean. And it got colder. I can feel it.
That's what the same. Yeah, it's the same sound. It's the sound I'm talking about. But I hear it like coming from out here. Can I switch cameras with you for a sec? Yeah.
Oh, there it is again.
Okay, you should try. Where are you hearing it from? We should try to nail it down. Where do you think it's coming from?
I think it's over here somewhere. Oh, you know this battery's almost dead?
Oh.
3%.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's change it out. Should want me to keep filming or?
Yeah.
Okay, Colin's changing the battery. You can come out again. Feel free to come out and show yourself with me. Oh. Colin.
What?
Another noise. Another metallic noise.
Okay, I got it swapped. We're gonna use this tool. It's called, oh, it's me. Creepy babies. It's called the Spirit Talker. All you have to do is use your voice, and we should be able to tell what you have to say. Or you can make noises like you've been doing. Are you here with us?
Edna.
Edna?
It didn't even come up with anything.
Oh, weird. It's blank. But I think it said Edna.
Huh. Weird.
Right?
Edna.
Edna.
Edna?
But say that again on that camera. Like that didn't even come up.
Yeah.
I've never seen it not come up with a word. It said Edna. Okay. Edna?
Did you die here in the hospital?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna take that as a yes.
What the fuck?
Better not spell Edna.
Okay, if you are down there, can you touch one of those red lights that are in the hallway? How many of you are here?
Stuck here.
Stuck here.
Oh.
Did you die here? Stuck here. Oh, and it said 3!
Oh.
What the hell?
Okay, you asked, remember?
I did. I just asked how many people,
Yeah.
but it didn't say it.
Oh my god, let me see this.
What?
I can't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through this.
Okay,
real-
that is weird, man.
Yeah, so think about it. It said Edna, but it didn't show up on the talker. I've never seen that, obviously.
No, me either.
Killer.
Killer.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Stuck here.
Whoa.
Killer.
But then what'd you ask?
I just asked how many people are here and did you die here? And then it said 3, and it didn't even
But it didn't
announce
say
it.
3.
No. Which
And
is
then now it just
Ernest.
Ernest.
Okay.
Ernest and Edna.
Edna and Ernest.
And then Killer.
Wow.
Stuck here, Killer,
Wow.
Ernest.
Oh, remember we talked about, did any murderers die here?
He said there's a lot of violence in here.
A lot
Or
of
people that
violence.
died from violence from this area.
Right.
That's
But
weird,
But
man.
even like, remember he said like people, friends of his, even gunshots and.
Yeah. And this device spelled out.
Investigator.
Oh, okay. Yep, that's us.
It's spelled out
But even like
FRHDID. Did.
even like killer.
Killer. Investigator, like a private investigator.
Also 3. So that you've asked. Let's go back to that. You have Edna, Ernest, and we have one more.
Don't go.
No, we're staying. We're staying for a while.
Can we turn this SLS off?
Yeah.
Just because the light
Okay.
is...
Oh, that's going off. Look at it, it's blinking.
No, it's that. Oh,
Look,
that's the actual
it's
thing.
blinking. The light.
The IR light's gonna
The
die.
IR light is blinking.
I thought that was the SLS.
I can't get it on mine. Is it showing yours?
Yeah. That thing was fully charged. We've only been investigating like 20, 30 minutes.
And then, I mean, didn't I? Okay, one. Didn't I just tell you as well, like how long those last?
Yeah.
Right. Remember?
Yeah.
I said these things last forever because we were charging all our equipment.
Dude, you know what's really weird?
Yeah.
We were down there.
Yeah.
Nothing was going off. Then this one started going off.
Right.
Along with the Envoy. Then we came down here. These stopped.
Smith.
Ernest Smith.
Okay. Edna, Ernest, and Smith.
But then we came down here. These stopped going off, and then that one down the hall goes off. It's like it wants us to go down there.
Okay.
Are you down here? What do you want to tell us? What happened to you? Were you murdered?
Our motion lights all work. Oh, trying again.
Right when we came back down here.
13.
13. Isn't it the 13th today?
Today is the 12th.
No, it's the 13th.
Is it really?
Yep. Right
Serious?
there.
Okay.
Sunday, November
Oh,
13th.
weird. Okay, you're right. It is the 13th.
Weird.
Okay, which one? Now the other one. The other one. Now it's going back the other way. Do you want us to come back there?
Is that what you're trying to say? Come back? There's the Envoy again.
Yeah. So,
We
okay, so remember,
want you to come back.
you asked again how many initials are here? 3. Edna, Ernest, and Smith. It doesn't have to be a first. We didn't ask first or last name.
Yeah. We want you to come back down.
Okay,
there.
well,
okay, we're
it's
gonna come
the
back
3.
down. I'm gonna turn off this IR light too because
Wow.
things are going bananas. What?
No.
Dude.
That one now?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Dude, how's that happening? Edna, Ernest, Smith, can you tell us what happened to you? How did you end up in the hospital? What's the reason for your visit today? Oh, I thought I just saw a shadow down there. Going into that doorway. I'm not even kidding you.
I can't see.
You see that doorway?
I can't see this camera, but yeah.
Right past this one, it looked like it went like that. It's a creepy noise. It's like a horror movie noise. It's so silent in here.
Okay, so what happens like in the very beginning when the REM pod's going off like crazy?
Yeah, true.
And like when I came up. Okay, was that you guys playing with this? Is it a Y or an N or?
WX. Why? What is your reason for coming to the hospital again? Okay, what the hell? It didn't give the word again, but hurting.
Hurting?
Hurting.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Here, I guess I
Literally hurting.
Why they came to the
Yeah,
hospital?
I've said that like 3. Okay, so you were hurt. You were hurting. What part of you was hurting? 13 again. Were you 13 years old?
Or today's the 13th.
What was hurting? What was hurting? What was hurting?
What was that?
I don't know.
There was like a little hiss or something.
I heard that.
Did you?
Can you tell me what was hurting?
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Way
gosh.
down there.
Yeah,
We're
wait. No, right here.
far away.
Right there. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Oh my gosh.
This place is
My ears are plugged. Like I'm like going down a mountain.
What was hurting when you came here? Can you tell us that?
Secrets.
Secrets? So this hospital has secrets.
Oh.
Holy shit. Right after we talked about that too. Isn't okay, thank
Hey,
you.
Right.
Light.
Oh, that's
Light, dude,
Dude,
light.
okay.
It said light right when it goes off, the REM pod.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, so you like the light?
Dude, and this envoy thing went off again too.
It said X, now it said W.
But
It said literally W.
look at this thing going
X,
nuts.
Y.
Okay.
I don't even know
A
how to
second
handle it.
ago, dude, I was talking about how that thing is going nuts. And it
And
wasn't
it
doing
stopped?
anything. And now it's like, it's just going berserk again.
There's somebody in this room.
Okay, yeah, that's where I had that image pop up on the chair, Colin.
Yeah.
You know?
Can you tell me about the secrets from this place? What happened here? Hers, it said. Whose secrets? Hers.
Got it?
Yeah, okay, we paused for 1 second because Jeff was getting the SLS set up, and there is
And this is the room that's been going on, and that went off down there.
just now.
Okay. Are you waiting to be seen by the doctor? Are you Edna or Ernest? Man, you want to stay. Oh, okay. Do you have that on? Okay, I asked if you're Ernest or Edna.
And this thing.
What's that?
It said
Man,
X.
things going nuts. Get the.
Ask it. Oh, it's getting up. It's getting up, dude. No wonder it's going off. Look, it's touching the exact area.
Look at. Oh, I got.
It's right here, man.
Dude,
That's
my
what set it
legs.
off.
My legs are like. My
Look
legs
at
are
it
supercharged,
growing.
man.
Okay, can you stand up out of the chair all the way? Oh no, it got back in the chair.
Dude, I've got a headache. Is that orb?
No. Oh no, it got back in the chair.
Dude, I've got a headache. Is that orb? Dude,
It got back in the chair.
what? This thing's going nuts. I've got a headache.
Me too, actually.
Ooh. Are you here for head pain?
How is this thing? What is the deal with this thing?
Wow, it's crazy that this thing is there, and that's what I kept thinking is something that's in this room.
It's just,
It's-
dude, that's so creepy that it
it's-
got back
yeah,
in the chair.
I know.
And it's sitting
Yeah.
right there.
Is there anybody else in here, Edna or Ernest or Smith? Kate.
Oh, it's gone. Oh. A,
Hey.
B. A, B. Can you spell the letter C?
Are you having abdominal pain? I don't know. It's-
Okay. If you're sitting there in that chair, can you answer some questions?
It's still there.
What are you waiting for today?
For help with here in the hospital. Can you tell us?
Are you going to come down? Anybody wants to come down to the waiting room and join? You're welcome to come down and sit in another chair.
Closer.
I mean, it's
You
still,
just asked it to come closer. I just heard noise.
I did too. Yeah.
Can you come closer to us? What? How is that
Again.
possible, dude?
My legs are just.
You saw that right there.
Yes, and my legs are just crazy.
Okay, now that you're here, what's bothering you?
Why are you in the hospital today?
You keep sticking your leg out to touch that device and makes... Oh, it's gone. Where'd you go? Did you go behind me?
Kid. That's weird. Remember he said there are children's spirits?
Yeah, and sad.
Also, the maternity ward's right down. It could have been a pregnant woman. That's weird, though. It could have been a pregnant woman sitting in the chair. We said, why are you here, kid? And the maternity ward is literally right here. Ten-second walk.
So one thing I really found really interesting was the SLS figure we caught in the chair in the waiting room area on the second floor. It just kind of appeared sitting there. And I, as many of you know, I like the SLS. I know a lot of people have different opinions on it, but I find it just interesting for what it is. But this figure on the chair seemed to just be waiting like for a doctor's appointment, sitting in this waiting room chair. And it really started to interact with our REM pod in front of it as well. And I felt like it kind of knew what it was doing, like setting the lights off. So I really enjoyed that part of the investigation. I'm really glad that figure showed up for us because I felt it was almost intelligent, giving us a clue that it really knew we were there.
Before we move on to the upstairs, if you could tell us one word, what would it be? I think it's a pregnant woman in here. It said, kid, why are you here, kid? Maybe their kid was in the hospital and they're waiting on it too. Did your child hurt themselves? I'm gonna walk over to where you were sitting. Don't know how to spell, I guess. You're doomed. Once again, it said cross.
Come here.
Oh, come to the cross. We gotta find a cross in here. Because it said cross, and it didn't say it out loud.
Okay.
And then it said come here.
Okay, so
So I guess we gotta take a flashlight and go find wherever the cross is in here. You ready?
On this floor?
On another floor. Well, we can look around here too.
Let's look really quick here.
Okay, so it seems like the spirit talker said cross and then come here. And there's a ton of graffiti in here. So we're gonna go walk around and see if we can find a cross inside of this building because it seems like it's like asking us to come there. Surgery!
Oh,
Surgery, dude!
Okay, so
What the hell?
okay, the OR, are they both surgeons?
Yeah, they're two
They're
surgeons.
founded by two surgeons.
They're upstairs. The surgery wards are upstairs. That's crazy.
Is the surgery
Surgery.
ward upstairs?
Yeah, that's the.
Maybe the cross is there.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, that's
Should we go
crazy.
there now?
Yes.
Let's go there. Let's go.
Surgery.
Okay.
Cross. Come here. Surgery.
I'm gonna hit this.
So how interesting is that? On the Spirit Talker, we're getting the word cross, surgery, all these words that have relation to the hospital. And we decided, you know what? We're going to take this evidence that we're getting, we're going to go with it, and we're going to try find this cross. So we packed up our stuff and set off through the hospital, trying to find this cross that the Spirit was attempting to lead us to.
Killing.
Killing. Killing, and that's the guy that killed the police officer.
Oh, yeah, kill him
and he
right
died.
Here, right here. Let's go down here.
Right, but it was right there in that hallway.
That's what I mean. Is there a cross down there? Like,
Yes, we can look.
like I mean, just to try. Okay, so his room.
This was his room right here.
This is his room.
Yes.
What?
Jess. I'll have to look that up.
What's
Jess.
this say on here again?
Moe's Blackburn.
Moe's Blackburn. Larry. I don't know.
Let's keep looking for that cross. That's weird though. Killing
Yeah.
the guy right there
Right.
killed a cop.
Worship.
Worship.
Okay.
Cross, dude.
Yeah.
It's telling us
yeah,
get back
it
on
is.
track. Find the
Okay,
cross to
we're gonna-
worship.
Well, let's look.
Also, didn't there have to be like a chaplain here?
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I don't remember him ever saying anything. Here, I'm just gonna look in here really quick. My gosh, there's a rooms back here.
Vision.
Vision. Oh, Jesus.
Look at those bags, look fairly new.
Vision, and look at what I just looked at those in here. Eyeballs.
No.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
How weird
me?
is that? It said vision, and there's eyeballs in there.
That's bizarre.
What are the odds, man?
Holy. Oh. You want me to try it?
Yeah, sure. You
Here,
try
let's see
it.
maybe. Those are.
you gotta try it one more time. That looks hilarious.
Those are freaking hard, man. I'm gonna poke my eyes out.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
that is weird though. They were just in this bag.
Weird.
It said vision.
Fingers. So that's the only bag that has eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, let's find the cross.
Yeah. Well, surgery,
Surgery's the top floor.
right? So I mean,
So we gotta go to the top floor.
something is up with that, I think.
If there's anybody in here, you can also make a noise.
Toy.
Toy!
Oh,
The ball that I was just thinking about that. Can you move that toy? That ball, please? I just saw an orb on here. Okay, we're coming up to the surgery.
Unknown.
That's not creepy at all. This is bothering me though. Or no, this one's right. The other one said,
no, that should be Y-O-U''RE.
no, that would be you
U-R. Oh, right.
The other one says,
Duh.
you're next, but it says it like this or whatever. You're doomed.
You are next.
Yeah, you are doomed.
Is this the surgery? Yeah, these were.
Yeah, this is the surgery area.
Okay.
Because this viewing window? Pretty sure because this floor too.
Okay, so remember they have these are all.
Prisoner.
Well, ooh, dude. The prisoner that killed the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That we were just talking
What's
about
his name?
killing. Mose.
Mose. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, Mose.
Did you see a cross around here?
That's what I'm trying to find here.
Oh, there is that other surgery. Oh,
Yeah, I'm wondering about all the ER, that row of, What?
it's not a Jesus cross, but there is a cross. X.
I was thinking it in my head.
Walker.
Walker.
Okay, is there a walker? Wow. I'm not really seeing anything, man. The thing is, what we haven't done is the basement.
I know.
I mean, that might be where the
I
cross is
do.
at. This is the locker room, remember?
Yeah, for this.
Buried.
Buried.
Okay.
This is the.
What are on these cabinets, inside these cabinets? Ugh. How about that open one down there? That's the bottom one. What the hell? Some like solutions. Ugh.
Restroom cleaner. If there is anybody up here in the surgical ward, can you make a noise?
Permission.
Permission.
Yes, you have permission. It's okay to make a noise. You have our permission.
Anybody?
Is that creepy? I don't know where that dumbwaiter's at. Oh. Was that a shuffle?
We're gonna leave this floor. If you want to talk to us, you should make a noise now or say something about yourself. Let's go back downstairs.
Okay, here, let's do this.
Do it again.
God, it sounds like it wants to do something.
I know. I'm telling you, there's a cross in here that it wants us to find. It's probably in the basement.
Yeah, but it's kind of like here, like, could that be like a cross, or I don't know what the heck. You're doomed.
That's what I was pointing out.
Oh yeah.
That would be like
You are.
if you own something named Doomed, that's you're doomed. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Instead of you are.
Yeah, it's you're doomed.
Yeah.
If doomed were a noun.
Yeah, like a video
What is that?
game.
Oh, you're.
That's your copy of Doomed.
Oh, gotcha. It's
Or
your doomed.
a movie. Well, there's kind of a cross right here.
Well, that one looks like more of a cross here. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. In the weird, creepy room.
I kind of feel like there needs to be. It's got to be an actual cross.
Yeah. Basement. Cross. Oh, right there.
Right there.
It drew a cross.
Right
Oh!
Oh!
Jeff just turned. What? Okay, so we're taking a 2-minute break in the heat right here. Jeff just turned on the Ovulus draw mode just to test it out, and it just on camera drew a cross.
Wow, that was freaky, man.
What the hell, man? Do that again. See what it does.
Look at
It keeps
Look at-
drawing crosses.
Look at. Dude!
Okay, now that is
a fucking cross
unbelievably
again.
freaky.
Look at it stop. It's a cross again.
It is drawing crosses on
What
there.
the hell? It stays.
I've never-
haven't touched it.
No, I mean you can't even manipulate that in any way.
No.
So we've never had the opportunity to investigate a soundproof room. We thought it was the perfect time to use our DR60 EVP recorder because you can't fake, you can't bullshit that. It's a soundproof room. The only noises that are going to be coming through in that room are from Jeff and I. And if we're taking this seriously, like obviously we do, we're hardcore investigators. We go at this for hours at a time and use everything we can to get evidence. We know that whatever sound we capture in there, that's going to be an authentic EVP. And as you're about to see, one of these EVPs stood out above the rest. All right, so it's midnight right now. We've had some incredible activity, guys. Incredible, as you've seen. We have had tons of REM activity, intelligent stuff. We've heard lots of noises. Jeff heard me screaming, and I wasn't screaming.
Well, you were swearing.
Swearing,
Loudly.
yeah, loudly, which is creepy. We've had some weird stuff happen off camera too that we can explain later. But we're gonna do an experiment, follow me. So we're on the hunt. Right now we're looking for the cross. I have a feeling it's gonna be in the basement. We don't know what graffiti's in the basement. But right in here, like we saw on the tour, this is a soundproof room right here. So when we have this opportunity, we're gonna take the DR60 in here and see if we can do an EVP session. So if you can hear my voice, anybody follow my voice and come talk to us in this soundproof room.
That was a knock.
think it came from the soundproof room. It came from in here, didn't it?
I don't know.
Let's give her a whirl.
Okay. Once again, here we are getting done early.
Yeah, we've said every night this trip that maybe tonight we can get done early, and then we've gotten home at like 5 or 6 a.m.
Hardest working duo in show business.
Yeah, literally. Okay, so to anybody who's in here right now, we're just gonna ask a couple questions. Let's see if you can respond. Can you tell me your name? Are you sick right now?
Is that you? Like a bump to here. No, that. Never mind. So you killed the sheriff and were put up here on this floor, or no, the floor above us, I guess. What was your name?
What do you see right now?
Are you alive or dead? I just heard a noise.
What's the name of the building that we're in right now?
Can you say either one of our names so we know? Can you say one of our names?
Where's the cross that you've been talking to us about? Okay. Let's listen. Now this is going to be freaky if there's something, because just sit silently for a sec. It's silent.
Yeah.
Can you tell me your name? Are you sick right now?
I think that's me
So
sniffling.
you killed the sheriff and were put up here on this floor, no, the floor above us, I guess. What was your name? What do you see right now? Are you alive or dead? What's the name of the building that we're in right now? Can you say either one of our names, please? We know. Can you say one of our names?
Colin.
Where's the cross that you've been talking to us about? Can you say one of our names?
There's some.
Yeah.
I mean, once again.
How do you find out, like, when you edit, do you listen to it closer?
Yeah, I'll
you can pick
listen
it up
to it more closely, but
Because, like, you know, when the last one a few ago we did, where you can't really hear it, and then it's like really clear after you can really listen to it.
Mm-hmm. That's freaky though. It sounds like it says Colin.
It does.
And then when you go back to at the beginning of the night, you hearing something that sounds like me with your own ears.
Yeah.
I think that was interesting. I think we could do one more though.
Yeah, let's do one more. Since we're in literally a soundproof booth.
Yeah, when do you ever have a soundproof booth?
Hello?
Hey!
Ooh, that's kind of weird.
That's weird. There's no echo.
It just stops.
Do something. Do a stupid noise.
God, I don't know. I'm so tired I can't even think about doing anything.
I'm coming for your soul. I am the devil.
Oh, God, that hurt my vocal cords.
That was scary, man.
Blew out my vocal cords.
That was definitely freaky.
Okay.
Imagine if we heard that on this now.
Oh God,
that.
everything would be left behind.
Okay, well.
Okay, try it again. let's get down to what.
Yeah.
Let's think about it for a second. Do you want to try to ask anything specific?
Let's ask about the cross, what that means. Why it would mimic me?
Like you drew the cross out. Okay.
It said find the cross, surgery. Okay, so you said my name.
Battery exhaust.
No way.
Right when you said it. Oh, there's a knock. How do you even? Yeah.
Right when we started the session.
So what does that mean now?
Maybe you can turn the light off so we're in pitch black.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Holy shit, it's dark in here, man. It literally is like pitch black. All right, so you seem to know my name. Why me? What's the reason behind knowing, my name, I guess I should say.
Who appeared sitting in the chair with our SLS camera, the device I was holding when Colin was in that waiting room with you? What's your name?
What are we going to find when we find the cross? Are we going to find somebody or something?
You said Colin's name. Can you say my name?
Are you a good person or are you a violent person?
If you were a coal miner in this area and had a limb amputated, what did you have amputated? Like, was it a finger, a leg, an arm? Tell us what it was.
That's a really specific question. Who was sitting in the chair? Were you a pregnant woman? Did you just kill our camera battery? Or take the energy from our battery, I should say? Okay. We're gonna listen now.
Alright, so you seem to know my name. Why me? What's the reason behind knowing, my name, I guess I should say.
What the f*** is that?
Who appeared sitting in the chair with our SLS
Wait.
camera?
Alright, so
you seem to know my name. Why me? What's the reason behind knowing, my name, I guess I should say.
Yeah, what is that?
Who appeared sitting in the chair?
One more
with our
time after that. What is that?
Sitting in the chair with our SLS camera, the device I was holding when Colin was in that waiting room with you. What's your name? What are we going to find when we find the cross? Are we going to find somebody or something? You said Colin's name. Can you say my name? Are you a good person? You said Colin's name. Can you say my name? Are you a good person or are you a violent person? Or are you a violent person? If you were a coal miner in this area and had a limb amputated, what did you have amputated? Like, was it a finger, a leg, an arm? Tell us what it was. If you were a coal miner in this area and had a limb amputated, what did you have amputated? Like, was it a finger, a leg, an arm? Tell us what it was. Who was
An arm. It sounds like that.
Did you just kill our camera battery? Or take the energy from our battery, I should say?
I think that part was probably us.
But I think you can tell us if you listen to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think...
There was a lot of noise.
To me, I think, like, this room may make the difference. Possibly. I don't know. It's just an experiment. Right? We've never had the opportunity, or probably anyway that I know of.
No, to do an EVP in a soundproof room.
But I think you got a lot of stuff on there when you listen back.
That's some... Whatever that is at the very beginning of that recording, it's literally like... It sounds like that, or like scratching, you know, like...
You know
almost
what?
like that.
You know what it sounds like to me?
What?
It sounds like a panting dog.
Yeah.
And remember the doctor would bring a dog in here to do surgery.
Oh yeah, true.
Remember?
True.
I mean, just as a thought.
Yeah.
You know.
That was really good. An arm.
An arm, very
I think
clear,
that's the one clear takeaway from this. We've been in here like 30 minutes.
Yeah. And I think there's more though than that.
Yeah, but the arm is like, I can hear that immediately.
Like right now,
an arm.
And then you made fun of the fact that I was doing that.
I
Maybe
know.
that's more of a reason. Like, you lose your arm, it's kind of a big deal, you know?
Yeah, I have to give Jeff shit because he's my dad. But B, I just thought it was funny because the question's so specific. But it literally goes, an arm. Like that. And we're in a soundproof room. We're in a soundproof...
I think it was very, very clear.
Soundproof room. And it's actually pretty warm in here, so it's... It's not like freezing cold like the rest of this hospital.
I was going to say, it feels kind of good.
You can take a nap in this thing.
We got to get a battery.
Yeah, because it killed our camera.
Killed it.
Well, I think we should go down to the basement now.
This is actually pretty nice in here.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We're never going to get up. Damn. Oh, God. My hips hurt.
All right, everybody. So I'm going to interrupt the video real quickly. As you know, likes and comments are the things that help make the videos do better. So if there's one thing that you do for a stranger today, an act of kindness, please like this video and comment, "Let's go to the hospital," in the comments section below. Or you can comment, what I would like to see you guys comment is a story of your own, a story from a haunted hospital, or even a paranormal investigation you've gone on. Do you have a ghost story to tell me? Leave it in the comments section below. But anyways, to enter for the gift bag giveaway this week, all you have to do is like the video and comment, "Let's go to the hospital," in the comments section. I'm gonna give y'all 10 seconds to go like and comment. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But yeah, if y'all love these free videos, you know, we certainly love doing all of this and sharing our experiences with all of you people online. I'm so glad that I've gotten to know so many of you so well over the years. But the easiest thing you can do is just like the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure your notifications are on if you're subscribed to the channel. So yeah, that's my little spiel. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. And now let's get back to the video.
All right, guys, so it's the end of the night. I mean, it's not really the end. We still have plenty left to go. But we've been investigating here for 3 hours, had tons of stuff happen. But as a sum of the evidence, as you guys will remember, we had all the REM pod activity for a while upstairs, then it went silent, and then all of a sudden it started giving us these clues. The cross, come here, surgery, all this like kind of medical, religious related stuff. And then the EVP on the DR60 that we just captured, we believe that the EVP led us to believe that this person had their arm amputated here. And so we're gonna head now to the basement. We've got all of our stuff packed up, and we're gonna do an Estes session down there and then do a little more additional investigating. But we're gonna go down and see if we can find this cross, because it has to be here somewhere.
Man, this whole trip has been fantastic, but again, a lot of activity again. The cross drawing on the Ovulus 5, that was really weird for me, which you guys will see. Yep, that was I mean, to me, that might be the cross. But yeah, I mean, it's a great place to come. I mean, if you guys are investigators, for you guys, this is a great spot to come. These people are super nice as well.
Okay, down to the very creepy basement we go.
I hope.
To the basement we go.
It's us cheery folk coming to the creepy place.
Here, let's try this shit. Yeah, maybe it's a good thing that it's not.
Yeah. For us. It's definitely creepy down here.
Yeah, it's definitely got a very a little. So he's being tortured, man.
It's significantly colder down here too. Where are we going to set up?
Let's see. Well, let's look if there's a cross.
Wow, I think.
Oh, fuck!
Jesus, you scared the shit out of me. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Jeez.
Yeah, I guess let's go over there.
Oh,
let's see.
damn. Remember that's where they saw that shadow?
Oh yeah.
Way down.
Great.
I know.
Hi ho, to the ghost we go. Oh, remember they said this room is the one that psychics don't like?
Oh. Well, it's got a different energy.
Still no cross.
Ooh, God, look at all that stuff.
I heard something. Yeah, this is. Oh, cross! Fucking cross, dude. It was the basement it wanted us to come to. There it is. Isn't that weird? We were gonna miss it.
Well, won't that be like the pentagram and then a cross? I mean, aren't they kind of like opposites?
Yeah, but maybe it was saying just to come down to the basement.
Yeah, but what I mean, won't that be a cross if it's by the pentagram?
Yeah, oh, that's definitely
a
a
religious symbol like that.
Yeah, this is definitely a cross. And it's weird because it's at the entrance to the basement. So it's almost like it was telling us just to come down here in general. That's weird. There actually was a cross. So I was absolutely shocked to find the cross on the basement entryway. I mean, I didn't know that that was there. Obviously, the spirit talker had been leading us there. It seemed like something wanted us to come down to that basement, but why? Why did it want us to come down to the basement? I know it's the most active area, supposedly, but there has to be a reason behind that. It can't just be active because people were dying on every floor of the hospital. It's not like the basement was the death house. There's even a morgue cooler on a different floor, so it didn't make sense. Well, that is until we really started to think about it. Oh, my light just died right when I said that. Weird. Did you want us to come down here? Can you make a noise or move something if you wanted us to come down here? Can you make another tap? If that was you and you wanted us to come down here, we're not afraid.
That's maybe it down here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What the heck? Where is it?
Oh, no way, dude. Isn't that kind of crazy? Here's another cross.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, I don't know what is constituted as a cross, but this is it's like a cross, you know?
Well, it's the only one down here.
It's not an X, you know?
I kind of still...
Especially if you look at it like this.
Yeah, I kind of still feel like it's kind of the one right... What? I think it's kind of the one right in the entry.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it's almost like it led here, too.
But I mean, isn't that a pentagram?
Yeah.
Like religion, what would you say that signifies?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I think that's a cross.
Okay,
that's definitely a cross.
What is that pentagram do you signify with a circle around it like that?
It can be Wiccan, it can be good, it can be used
But
for
it's
bad.
still kind of a religious symbol.
It is a religious symbol.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so personally, I think it's really weird that the cross is at the beginning of the basement, which just meant in general, whatever we were talking to and wanted us to come down here. Second of all, there's a second cross-looking thing right here. And I was gonna bring up how I was thinking that this haunting, you know, upstairs, I thought about this for a second. I mean, right here, and these ashes right here, they've tested it, and there are real human remains in there. And, you know, people who lost feet, people who lost fingers, arms, other body parts, other, you know, who knows what they all incinerated, we don't know. But, I mean, it's reasonable to think that maybe if someone got an amputation and their body part got burned, then maybe they died, maybe from an infection or something after the amputation, that in the afterlife they'd be looking for that lost piece of their body, you know? It's like, it's kind of like the story of, I know it sounds cheesy, but the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow, how he lost his head and that's why he came back from the dead to try to find his head. There's a lot of stories like that. People not being able to rest unless their body's complete. Well, if you have a hospital like this, where there's a ton of body parts that were incinerated and none of this was ever dealt with, the ashes are still here. They were never given like a proper internment or anything like that. It's like there could be like 50 spirits here looking for their missing body parts that they'll never find. As crazy as that sounds. And that's exactly the EVP from upstairs. That's the exact EVP that we just got.
What?
My arm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just realizing that right now. That's
Really?
the exact, yes, the fucking arm.
I thought that's what you're getting to.
No, that's the exact thing.
I know.
That we just talked to someone who said they were missing my arm. And that's exactly, it's right here.
Yeah.
And the cross. It like led us here.
There we go.
But this larger room on the right was where they would separate those that needed amputations due to injuries. They would remove them from the population of just regular ER visits and treatment to here, because of course it was more excruciating and more serious. Fingers, toes to legs and arms were amputated quite a bit.
If you were a coal miner in this area and had a limb amputated, what did you have amputated? Like, was it a finger, a leg, an arm? Tell us what it was.
It's a message, man.
Okay.
It's the truth about this hospital. I don't want to, you know, connect too many things, but it's like, wow, let us down here. It said it's missing its arm. There's human remains cremated right there. Arms, legs, feet. I think we got to set our stuff up down here.
Let's do it.
Okay, want to go down to the hall?
Down the hall? What do you mean?
Go back out to the hall.
Oh, okay. Got me confused, man.
So, we've got this music box right here. That static camera captured this thing going off.
Off a lot.
A lot, like there's something down here, which is creepy. We've got 2 REM pods down there.
Oh, okay.
You can walk towards us. Thank you. Can you keep walking over here? Can you make a sound or a noise for us?
Guess that is a sound.
Something like this?
Something right in front.
And remember, this thing was just completely silent on the second floor for like 2 hours.
Right. Do you want to try?
That's so creepy to sit and imagine something invisible right here that we can't see.
Right, exactly.
Do you want to put this REM pod over here before we start?
Oh. I thought.
All right.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh. What?
Okay, I'm kind of freaked. It's
Yeah,
also
this is
really
definitely-
cold.
This is definitely different energy here. The hell? This.
Okay, what is going on, man?
Okay.
Okay, if that's you over there, can you step away?
Wow. Look at
This,
that thing.
whatever this is powerful. Once again, this thing was just sitting upstairs for the longest
Right.
time, not going off. It's not a battery issue.
Look at this thing. Where is this leading to again?
That's to the body part room.
Oh.
With the cross.
It is. That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna reset it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
let's
you.
watch.
Thank you.
Just,
Okay.
okay. Man, we're gonna be here. We're gonna have to go. They're just wanting to go.
This is crazy down here.
If you're making this music box go off, can you just do something else down there? Make a noise?
What was that
Oh.
moan?
I didn't hear it.
Was that your stomach?
Uh-uh.
Are you serious?
Uh-uh. I don't even know what you're talking about.
It literally just went, hmm. You didn't hear that?
No.
Right next to us, dude. Okay,
Well,
we definitely got
I was,
that on
I
camera.
was talking about over here when you said that. I don't know.
Dude,
I was
have the
talking.
chills, man.
Okay, so this has been going off like crazy.
I can't believe you didn't hear that just now. That was so loud. It was like
I think
right
it was,
here.
I think it was like right when you were saying that I was talking about over there.
Can I turn this off?
Yeah, we're gonna have to, guys. It's just we know you're there. Thank you.
Oh,
my God!
Right when I turned it off, dude. Right when I turned it off.
Wow. What?
How is that possible? Right when I turned it off. Like the moment that I turned it off.
And this
dude.
is the door that goes to the room with the incinerator.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
How's that
I
possible?
know, it's like, don't turn it off. Okay, we know that you're here. There's no offense to be taken by it, but we just had to turn this off because it's too noisy. Can you step away from that? And we recognize you're here. Dude, I'm actually kind of like feeling cornered or something. Like,
It's because this one's going off, that one's going off, and this one. All three hallways. It's like surrounding us.
okay,
Can you walk towards that red light if you're here?
wait, what's that?
I'm gonna reset this once more. Thank you.
Jeez. Oh,
What?
is that one?
That's the REM pod right here.
Oh,
Now, how is that possible? Right, once again, when I reset the device, a different one.
yeah, I know.
Can you grab that red light, that antenna? Yeah, I'm gonna
go.
turn on the Ovulus.
Sound like F you.
Can you tell us your name? If this is the person who is talking to us and telling us to come down to the cross, we're here. How can we help you?
F you.
I can't tell. I'll have to find out what it's saying when
Yeah.
I do the post review.
Oh, yeah.
Did you lose an arm?
Oh, it sounds like arm.
Did you lose an arm? I heard a noise down there.
Like a click.
Yeah.
This is creepy AF down here.
Creepy. That's creepy how bad my back hurts from
Oh.
carrying that camera 5
I'm
days.
telling
in a
you
row.
what, I can feel it.
Okay, we came down here to talk to the person about their arm that was missing. How can we help you? We can't bring back your arm.
Yeah.
Can you say that again? How can we help you?
It's cold down here. Oh. Where's the other one at?
Right when you said it's cold down here.
Yeah.
That's the temperature sensor.
Wow,
It's
that's
showing that it got colder.
Right.
How can we help you?
Ooh. It's a creepy sound, man.
I know. How can we help you? Or what do you want to tell us? We're right here at the cross. I think we should do a DR60 in the body room.
Let's do it.
That's where it led us.
You have the...
And then we can do the Estes in there. So right now, we are going to do a DR60 session down here in the room with all the human ashes and human remains. This seems to be where it's led us tonight, with the cross literally on the wall right there, and the cross in the entrance to the basement. It said it lost an arm. You ready?
I am.
Okay, so I think that whoever we were talking to upstairs wanted to lead us down here to this area with the cross in the room and the human ashes. What can we do to help you?
That you?
What?
That sound?
I don't hear anything.
Really? Okay. It's like a meow. Okay, I had asked you earlier which limb or body part you lost, had amputated. Which part was that again?
This one back here.
Back by the thing.
Right by the incinerator.
Again, which body part?
That was weird. There's a cold air coming in.
How did you lose the body part that you lost? Was it in an accident? Did somebody hurt you?
Hear that?
What?
Oh, was that you?
What?
A sound again. Oh, okay. Just right when I asked last time I did that.
Oh, I heard that. Was that you?
I'm assuming that some of you live in this area, you like this area. How many of you are in here right now with us?
What did you call us down here for? Why couldn't you talk to us upstairs? Why did we have to be down here?
Do you know who Colin is to me as far as relation?
The one by me.
Yeah.
Weird. Oh, both of them.
Of course it's gonna be on here, you know.
It's weird that both temperature things at the same time.
Can you please step away from that and quit changing the temperature so we can talk with you?
Is your body, or is a part of your body in the incinerator? Is that why you had us come down here?
By the damn incinerator, yeah. I think you might have to turn it off. Oh, what was that? A voice. What? A voice. A voice.
If your body part is in there, can you grab that metal antenna? You can do it. There's a voice out there like, ah. Let's listen to
That light,
the
can you turn? Okay. Okay. What? There's a knock.
Right above us.
Knock.
Okay, so I think that whoever we were talking to upstairs wanted to lead us down here to this area with the cross in the room of the human action. What can we do to help you? Which limb or body part you lost had amputated? Which part was that again? Again, which body part? How did you lose the body part that you lost? Was it in an accident? Somebody hurt you?
It's reacting to these.
I'm assuming that somebody lives in this area, like this area. How many of you are in here right now with them?
7.
Why did you call us down here for? Why couldn't you talk to us upstairs? Why did we have to be down here? Do you know who Colin is to me as far as relation?
Oh, I can just a cold.
Yeah. It's cold. It's gonna be cold in here.
Changing the temperature so we can talk with you.
You feel that? It's
Yeah.
freezing all of a sudden.
Very cold. Oh.
Is your body, like a part of your body, in the incinerator?
Look at this.
Is that why you had to come down here?
Why are we talking about this? I was like, I want to talk.
You grab that red light, if your body part is somewhere in there.
What the hell? Look at this.
What? This has been
Completely
on for
silent.
for like 20 minutes now.
Who's out there?
You can come in.
Or you can move something out there for us. Make a bang. Is that crazy? It's just
What the hell?
doing nothing. And then it's like, when we started to talk, when we started to do the DR60 playback.
Yeah. You're right. Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, real quickly, since you obviously like this device, can you tell us your name?
Since you hang out down here, can you tell me the name of this part of the building?
You mentioned that this place had secrets. Is the fact that there are still human remains here that haven't been given a proper burial the main secret you were talking about?
What type of mines were located around here that brought many of the injured to this hospital? What kind of mines were they?
Is that what you want? To be given a proper burial?
If you are aware of your surroundings here, like it seems you are, what season is it right now?
All right, let's listen. Okay, here we go.
Hey, real quickly, since you obviously like this device, can you tell us your name? Since you hang out down here, can you tell me the name of this part of the building? You mentioned that this place has secrets. Is the fact that there are still human remains here that haven't been given a proper burial the main secret you were talking about? What type of mines were located around here that brought many of the injured to this hospital? What kind of mines were they? You know who you want to be given a proper burial? If you are aware of your surroundings here, I can see that you are. What season is it right now?
Weird.
This is I have to listen to it again in post with headphones, but
Right, yeah.
this is definitely the place that has the strongest
Yeah,
voices. It seems like we found whoever's here. They
Yeah.
are here.
yeah.
And it also reasons to, whatever the phrase is, that, none of these body parts have been given a proper burial.
Mm-hmm.
The ashes are still here. So it's like these people have like this connection still to this building, even if they died 40 years ago. They're not
Right.
all, they haven't been blessed really and laid to rest in whatever religious tradition that they need to be for burial.
Right.
Estes?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it. All right, everybody. So to end tonight, we're going to be doing an Estes session. If you don't know what the Estes method is, we're going to be running this spirit box through these noise-canceling headphones. And I'm going to wear this blindfold so I can't see or hear anything that Jeff is doing or saying. If there's someone in here who has something to say, and you're angry about something, it kind of seems like they're angry, like with those voices. Come speak with. Oh, it's kind of cold.
I'm cold. I felt
Right now.
Right now.
Like a breeze.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. Okay.
Watch out. You're gonna pull the. Yep. It's ready. Okay.
Bunches.
Are you glad we've come to visit you?
Hers.
Our interview said there might be fetuses even in there. Can you say if there is, yes or no?
For sure.
That's okay.
Mine.
Are you happy here? Whoever's here, do you like to hang out here? Is there?
No. Sad.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm sorry to hear that. Why don't you move on? You know you can move on to a better place.
There's something.
What is it? Something that's preventing you from moving on? What would that be? Do you know that you are no longer living?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't you move on?
Can't find
Okay, you're not moving on.
the way.
Okay, you can't find the way. Wow. You have to, I guess.
I'm here.
Okay, so you're here. Do you,
Right there.
Do you take care of this place? Do you kind of guard this place? All the ashes?
Evil. 4.
Evil 4.
The gray.
Gray. What does the gray refer to? What does that mean?
My house.
Okay.
Find me.
Gray house. Are you in this room somewhere? Where at?
Behind him.
Oh, that would make sense. So
There's someone. There's multiple.
okay, so behind you, multiple. Do you mean
5 of them.
Okay, do you mean, I don't know why this is going on and off. The camera is walking on me. Are you playing with my light source? Okay, so you're kind of playing a prank, huh?
Lunch.
Whoever I'm talking to, how old are you? Tell me about how old. Old?
14. 14. Old and 14 at the same time.
14. Oh my gosh.
14.
Okay, so 14. Can you give me your name? Or if you're a girl or a boy? Give me some hint as to who you are. A 14-year-old. It's okay. You can tell me.
Cashier.
That doesn't give me any idea though if you're a boy or a girl. Give me a
I'll
way.
leave.
No, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to understand who I'm talking to. Okay, if you're a 14-year-old, are you a girl or a boy? Or your name? That clarifies it?
His.
Okay. So, how did you die if you're a boy, a 14-year-old boy? I'm sorry to hear that, but how did you die? Can you tell me how you died? It's okay.
Liver.
Okay. Something happened to your liver. I'm sorry to hear that. Are any of those toys in this building yours that you play with? If so, which one do you like the best? Do you like to play with
All of them.
All of them, okay.
The red light.
Oh, God. Everybody listen, the red light just came on here, right? He just said it right after it came on. Are you playing with that red light? Okay. Who's playing with that red light? Is it the 14-year-old boy or someone else?
My baby. Name.
So is there anyone else that you like to hang out with? I'm talking to the 14-year-old boy. Is there another person's name or age or someone that you like to hang out with the most?
Sure. Couple guys.
Okay, a couple guys. Okay, I'm glad you're hanging out with a couple guys. You said you haven't...
Minors.
They're minors, okay. Boy, kids did work in the mines, we were told by Charlie earlier. Did you work in the mine yourself? Were you a coal miner?
Negative.
I want to go back to when you said you couldn't find your way to transition over. You know you can.
Are you moving?
I was moving, yeah. I just made this noise.
Victim.
Do you like to stay here, or would you like to move on? If you had your choice.
Just slowly.
Yeah?
Oh, it's getting way colder in here, by the way.
It is.
Can't hear what you're saying, but I'm like, I
Yeah,
can really feel it.
It really is getting colder. Where would you like to go if you could? Anywhere you'd like to go.
Michigan.
Okay. God, that's crazy. Why Michigan? What's in Michigan? It's okay, you can tell me.
Beaches.
That's crazy. They do have really beautiful beaches.
I want a girlfriend.
Well, they have beautiful beaches in Michigan. That's because we've been there, and it looks like the ocean, the color of the ocean, like blue. But
Cherry. Or sherry.
wow. Well, we did pick cherries, fresh cherries in Michigan as a family. That was our one and only time, and that was so fun that we did that. Have you ever been to Michigan?
Sounds nice.
It does sound nice. It was nice.
Oh, it's cold, dude, again. It's coming in here. I'm like really cold.
Again, I believe I'm talking to the 14-year-old boy still, and you can move on, but do you know where your parents...
Lost a leg. I don't know what would be broadcasting that, but it sounds lost a leg.
Is that, again, the 14-year-old boy that lost a leg, or is someone new stepping forward? You know, I want to go back to the 14-year-old... Okay.
Leg? Again.
Okay. I don't think it's the 14-year-old boy. Who lost their leg? Was it like your sister or your mother or another girlfriend? Who lost the leg?
Frank.
Frank, okay. So Frank lost the leg. How was he related to you, or was he? Was he a friend, or was he an uncle or anything like that? You can tell me.
My dad.
Okay, Frank, your dad lost his leg.
Ooh.
Was he a coal miner?
I'm over there.
I believe you're over here. Okay, well, you're safe here.
Help me.
You're safe here. Again.
Go on.
Okay, do you know where Frank, your dad, is?
Tell him about me.
I can't. He, I'm sure, has passed on. Yeah. And has moved on. And you should move on.
Miss him.
I know, but you miss him, but you should go on and move on to meet up with your dad, Frank. Okay? Can you try to do that? Ask for someone.
I'm weak.
No, but ask someone to guide you. Okay? Ask someone around you to ask how to do that, how to move on.
One half of it is here.
Do you know where your mom is at? What happened to your mother?
There's a bad man. Down.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the 14-year-old boy again.
He won't let me. Southern accent.
And that sounds like the reason
Liberty.
why you haven't been able to move on, but you have to just, again, step away from this bad man. Let him know that he can't hold you back and you need to go join up with your father, Frank.
Most of us stay.
No, but do you want to stay?
You like it?
So you want to stay here? Is that why you don't move on? Do you stay because you like to, or because there's a bad man that makes you?
Not bad. I miss coffee. And Pop-Tart.
So what is this building? What kind of building is this? So you know where you're at in your surroundings? What is this place? Kind of verify you know where you're at. I mean the whole structure. What kind
All the time.
What kind of structure is this? Okay.
I'm f***ing freezing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got.
that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. You know, so once again, it was, yeah, you had a number of responses, and I zeroed on that you were talking to a 14-year-old boy.
And I remember hearing 14.
And then a person who lost his leg, Frank.
Yeah, and I heard that
and
lost the leg.
And then I asked how he was related to you, if he was just a friend, and he said it was his father or dad, one of the two. Father, I think he said father.
Hearing that, but then yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Frank.
Yep, Frank. Yep. And anyway, yeah, you're gonna find quite a bit. Are we ready to do a rapola?
Before we go, Frank, if I was just talking to you, do you have anything left to say to us, or anything that you want us to do for you? It went from this one to that one.
There's like constant.
What is that? We haven't heard that all night. What is that?
Oh, my ears are just plugged.
What is that? Thanks, Frank.
Yeah. I think
it's really late.
Letting us know that you're here.
Well, if you think of anything else,
okay. Yeah, we do have to go.
You can let us know while we pack up if you use your voice to talk to us.
Yeah, and you do know that you guys can move on to a better place if you want to. And I hope you do. I think you'll be happier. So walking away from that night, overall in this hospital, I think a lot of what Charlie had said, a lot of communities build up around institutions like a hospital. The coal industry that was so prevalent there, the horrific injuries from that industry with all the mechanized equipment they use, again, lost limbs and black lung and a lot of, again, suffering. And I could kind of feel that in the facility, but also could kind of feel the other part of that too, as far as the healing and people taking care of each other, and just ended up walking away with a greater appreciation for a community like Williamson, as the hospital seemed like being up on that point, if you will. It was like almost the beacon for the town, that it was there to take care of them. There was a lot of respect for all the people that came through that door and people that never left as well. But in the end, I thought there's definitely a lot of souls left there behind. And I'm once again feeling privileged I got to be there and investigate it with Colin.
So at the end of the day, I think that we actually figured out the reason why the hospital is so haunted, and it makes perfect sense. Cross, surgery, it led us down to the basement. The surgery could have meant that the leg or whatever body part, the arm, was amputated during a procedure. We got the EVP saying my arm, and it led us down to that room where all of the activity was. The Estes session was crazy. The devices were going absolutely nuts in there. And it shows that there's an energy down there in that very room that extends throughout the entire hospital. I mean, when you think about it, there are human remains there in that furnace. And the people who those remains once belonged to are buried without an arm or a leg or whatever piece of their body was incinerated. And like I said in the video, it's like the Headless Horseman. In that story, his head got cut off. They buried him without his head, and that's why he's cursed to roam the earth in search of his lost body part. So in theory, if you had 30 body parts, 40, even 100, 200 that were incinerated over the years and left inside of that furnace, that's a lot of people that are left wandering the halls, and they might be a little upset that they can't find their arm. It's gone. I know that sounds crazy. I know that that's, a theory that's out there, but taking the sum of the evidence, it really seems like, I don't know, maybe those remains do need to be removed from the hospital and put to rest in a proper grave or given a proper burial and a blessing. I don't know. It definitely did seem though like that room was the battery for the rest of the haunting. It seemed to guide us down there, and it made perfect sense at the end of the night. Yeah, the old hospital on College Hill is definitely haunted. If you're ever in West Virginia, I would highly recommend you go check the place out. It's active, it's frightening, and we had a blast, visiting. But as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's Colin here. Thank you all so much for watching. We have so many great videos coming up. I love you all so much. Be sure to like and comment. And as always, stay spooky, and we'll see you next week.